Hello everyone and welcome to LEGO Star Wars Hot Takes episode 23. As always, if you have any hot takes or controversial opinions about LEGO Star Wars that you want me to discuss next week, make sure to go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Hopping right into it, this first one comes from Brickett Studio. He says, hot take, we should get less sets off of canon and more sets off of Legends and EU. I would really love to see the High Republic era get sets. Well, first of all, the High Republic is sort of canon's replacement for the Old Republic from my understanding, except it's supposed to be when the Republic's at its highest point and there's not really a large threat, there's no Sith or anything like that, but that's besides the point. What you're really talking about is how you want more Legends and Expanded Universe sets, and I always see at least a few comments about this on every single one of my hot takes videos, and I have talked about this before, but hopefully in this video I will cover it for more people to hear, and really it's just why I think LEGO is not going to make Legends sets anymore, or at least not in the foreseeable future, and you have to remember these are all mainly just my speculations from my understanding of how Star Wars and LEGO work with each other, so just keep that in mind as I explain my viewpoint on this. And also, yeah, I know I put Raven in the thumbnail and he is canon now. I was gonna put Malgus in there, but Raven just looked cooler and he's more iconic. But anyways, the first thing you have to understand is that LEGO is obviously under a license agreement with Disney and Lucasfilm, and all of these super iconic and awesome characters and ships from Legends that we all love just do not align with what Disney currently wants Star Wars to be marketed around, and obviously that's gonna put some restraints on LEGO making those sets. Restraints from my understanding being that Disney just probably won't even let LEGO make sets from that material. And also that's Disney's side. For LEGO's side, I mean, it can cause confusion for the average consumer, because I mean, when I say iconic Legends material, it's really only iconic to like the above average Star Wars fan, and I assumed most of the people that's heavily involved with the LEGO Star Wars community online is an above average Star Wars fan, so they would understand the material. However, your average consumer that just sees a LEGO set on the shelf and is either just a collector that gets a set here and there, or someone that's just buying a set for their kids, they're gonna get confused when they see a Sith Dreadnought with Darth Malgus and Darth Vindican in it. Obviously, fans like you and me would go absolutely crazy over a set like that. However, it's just gonna confuse and end up not appealing to the average consumer, who is still a significant factor in LEGO's profit. Now, don't think I don't know about the Darth Malak that is coming as a 25th anniversary figure next year. That does tell me that Lucasfilm isn't as strict with the license as I originally thought. However, still, that's just one character. It's not a whole entire set that's just based off of Legends. And also there are some other exceptions, like a small battle pack like the Shadow Trooper battle pack from 2015, or most notably to me, the most recent Republic fighter tank and the Sand Speeder from 2018. With the fighter tank, obviously the average consumer recognizes clone troopers, and they see this and they're just like, oh cool, purple clone troopers. Even though before this set those clone troopers were from Legends, they're still just, well, purple clone troopers, so people wouldn't get them confused. And same thing with the Sand Speeder, it's just a recolored snow speeder pretty much, and that is recognizable to the average consumer. And sets along those lines are basically all that LEGO has to work with in terms of Legends material. Again, because all of these super awesome iconic characters and ships are just not what Disney wants Star Wars to be about right now, and they just won't appeal to the average consumer. And unless Dave spontaneously comes in and saves the day by making a lot of cool Legends stuff canon for a new series, it's safe to say that as LEGO Star Wars fans, we just need to forget about the idea of a big Legends set. As much as I hate to say it, and as much as I want to be wrong and honestly hope I'm gonna end up being wrong, as of now this is just the harsh reality. A prequel fan says, hot take, I really like stud shooters. They may not look realistic, but they remind me of the classic Megaphone blasters and they are quite fun to play with. However, the studs are very easy to lose. Now I assume obviously you're talking about the stud shooter blaster, and I've never really thought about how they could remind somebody of the classic Megaphone blasters. I definitely see where you're coming from with that. However, that nostalgia connection is not really there for me, and from like 2014 to 2018 they were pretty annoying to always get in battle packs. However, I've always actually liked them when they weren't blasters and they were actually incorporated into sets, like where they're supposed to be the cannons on a ship or something. I mean, I've always liked that and I've never minded it. It's just as blasters, I'm glad LEGO finally strayed away from them. This next one comes from Habs fan. He says, hot take, when the Force Awakens sets and movie came out, it was some of the best times for LEGO Star Wars fans. Everyone wanted to build a First Order army and everyone was so hyped for the movie. When I look back on it, it makes me think, man, those were some good times. And yes, bro, I completely agree with you. Back in like August and September of 2015, when the rollout for The Force Awakens and the Force Awakens LEGO Star Wars set started, really was a peak time for the LEGO Star Wars community. I mean, obviously the community was not near as big back then as it is now, like not even 10% of the size it is now. However, still, like you said, that era was just such a fun time. I mean, as much as I don't like the sequels, I do have to say there was a lot of hype behind The Force Awakens when it came out, and actually out of the 3 sequel movies, I think think The Force Awakens is the best one. It's actually tolerable and entertaining. It's not as cringe as the other two, and there was so much hype when the trailer dropped, and mix that with the LEGO Star Wars community, with the Force Friday at Toys R Us, if any of you guys remember those, and then Solid Brick Studios making his preparing for The Force Awakens video, combined with everyone getting the sets and reviewing them and doing live streams and everyone trying to build a massive First Order army all before the movie even came out. It was just a very fun time for the community. Mr. Sampiri24 says, hot take, it would be a bad idea to make a Geonosis Arena as a Master Builder Series set. If it does get made, it would be absurdly difficult to make an accurate arena to fit 15 to 20 figs. If they're gonna do a Geonosis Arena, it should be a $160 architecture style of a set. Now, I agree with you, and actually I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've just never really spoke up about it, and clearly after this comment I know other people have thought of this as well, because I mean, you're right, it would be absurdly hard for LEGO to make a Geonosian Arena Master Builder Series set. It could work as a play set that could have some type of like folding wall and have Count Dooku at the top and the creatures and then Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme, and like I said, that'd work perfectly as a play set. However, as a Master Builder Series set, I don't think they'd be able to pull it off. I just can't see LEGO really making it an 18 and up set that has a very detailed build as well as looks good on display. I mean, it really just only works as a playset. Actually, I take that back, it could work as an 18 plus miniature scale diorama set, but that's about it. And I hate to be the one to break this to the community because the Geonosian Arena is such a popular topic for a Master Builder Series set. However, I just don't think it would work very well. Nicola Grush, I have no idea to say your name, man. Anyways, he says, hot take, LEGO should stop with so many UCS sets that are hella expensive. If they don't need to, they should keep regular ships as UCS sets closest to $100 to $200 and focus more on the Master Builder Series sets, since there is a lot of sets that only really work as Master Builder Series, like the Geonosian Arena. Well, like we just talked about, I don't think the Geonosian Arena would work as a Master Builder Series set. However, when you said LEGO should stop with the really expensive UCS sets, I assume you're talking about like the 600 and up ones. I mean, no, I really don't want them to stop with those because I really like them and I collect them, and so do a lot of other people. I mean, I get they're not affordable for everyone, but that doesn't mean LEGO should stop making them. I mean, if you haven't caught on by now, usually every year we get a $200 UCS set or a $240 UCS set in May, and then in October we'll get the big $600 and up one. And I'm okay with that. I think LEGO should keep on doing that from here on out because it gives us a small one and a big one every year. The Norm says, hot take, I think the 2013 UCS X-Wing looks kinda ugly next to the new one. And yes, you were completely right. I have been saying this every chance I get, and I will continue to say it every chance I get. The newest UCS X-Wing is the best X-Wing LEGO has made by a long shot, and it's also one of the best $200 UCS sets they've made. And like you said, it just puts the 2013 one to shame, and I think a lot of people just refuse to believe that because they listened to all the negativity that was around this set when it was first announced, and they never really took a look at it for themselves. And I actually made a whole entire video on this back in May if you guys never saw that. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. As always, if you have any hot takes or controversial opinions about LEGO Star Wars, make sure to go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the end screen right now.